to internet, etc. There is a criticism that I have not given full relief. I quote that article. When a senior advocate asked Justice Bhagwati about the dichotomy between the reasoning and the relief, that is in Maneka Gandhi and R.D. Sethi, the judge explained that his brother judges were only concerned with the relief being denied in those cases. As long as Justice Bhagwati followed their lead on the relief, he got to write the judgment and lay down doctrine of law that continued to operate deep into the future. Every lawyer who today wins on the basis of R.D. Sethi and Maneka Gandhi judgments owes his victories in no small measure to Bhagwati's foresight, unquote. In earlier days, the bar used to play a proactive role in the resistance. The members of the bar used to willingly associate themselves with various social causes. It is the legal battles initiated by the Bar Association that have led to progressive interpretation of the Constitution. It is in this spirit that bar must work to strengthen democracy. One aspect that I want to bring to your notice is my choice of traveling across the country almost every weekend to speak to the public through various events. The popular perception is that the Indian judiciary was alien and quite distant to the general public. There are also still millions of suppressed people who need judicial help, who are apprehensive to approach the judiciary in times of need. My experience so far has convinced that in spite of fulfilling its constitutional mandate, the judiciary does not find adequate reflections in the media, thereby depriving the people of knowledge about the courts and the Constitution. I felt it was my constitutional duty to dispel these notions and bring the court closer to the people by way of generating awareness and building confidence among the people about the judiciary. From what I get to hear from the common people during my visits, I am happy to note that people are able to engage with me on my subject in their language. I have actively tried to promote a sense of belongingness of the people with the system. My constant endeavor was to make the people aware not just about their rights and obligations, but also about the constitutional scheme and democratic values and the institutions. My sincere efforts was to initiate a dialogue. As a part of my public speaking engagements, I have focused on certain subjects of institutional importance. The focal point of any justice delivery system is the litigant, the justice seeker. But our system, practice, rules being colonial in regime may not be best suited to the needs of Indian population. The need of the hour is the Indianization of our legal system. When I say Indianization, I mean the need to adapt to the practical realities of our society and localize our judicial delivery system. I have pushed for modernization of judicial infrastructure as a means of providing access to justice. I also tried to highlight the difference between the arrears and backlogs to put things in perspective. Arrears refer to delays that are unwarranted. Every delay is not an arrear. Some cases of delay might due to valid reasons. On the other hand, backlogs refers to a situation where the number of cases instituted in a period is more than the number of cases disposed of in the same period. I am happy to inform you and thank my colleague judges and collegium judges, Brother Justice Lalit, Justice Kanvilkar, Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, Justice Nageshwar Rao, and consulting judges. In the last 16 months, we could appoint 11 judges to the apex court and 255 recommendations for various high courts. Now already 224 are appointed. And this amounts to nearly 20% of the total sanction strength of the High Court. Due to our concerted efforts, we could make considerable progress in appointing more number of women judges and promoting social diversity on benches. We got 15 new chief justices of various high courts during the same period. This process is a reflection of the coherence and determination of the judges to strengthen our institution to further the goal of justice. These are the issues that I tried to do my best to solve. However, I acknowledge there are many other issues that the system is facing and it needs scientific assessment. From the very beginning, my stand is that since independence, no systematic assessment of the judicial system in India has taken place. The bar, the bench, and the government are all equal stakeholders in the justice delivery mechanism. We need their coordination efforts to revamp the entire system. The issues faced by the judiciary cannot be looked into isolation. The judiciary is an independent when it comes to adjudication of cases, but with respect to finances or appointment, it is still dependent on the government. To coordinate and to get the cooperation from the government, the interaction is inevitable, but interaction does not mean influence. I hope this dialogue between the judiciary and the public will continue. I am devoting my office with utmost contentment. When you ultimately judge me as a judge, I would like to say that I may be judged as a very ordinary judge, but one who greatly relished and enjoyed the job. I may be judged as one who meticulously followed the rules of the game and did not trespass into province's providence. More particularly, as one who recognized preliminary the moral power of a judge. I may be remembered as a judge who heard the senior and junior alike. As a judge, I always wanted my name to be etched on the hearts of the people through my conduct and behavior, rather than case law and generals. I want to remain in those vibrant hearts which will give me warmth and keep me going forever. I have been seen the flow of emotions in courtroom number 1 this morning. This is a reflection of the strong sense of your belongingness with the institution. I was touched by the display of emotions, in particular by Attorney General, Hon.ble, Mr. Dave, and Solicitor General. With my best intentions and efforts, I have carried out my solemn duty with a debt of gratitude to my motherland. This country has provided me with many opportunities and happiness, and it was an honor to serve you all. Both your support and criticism has carried me this far. The end of my tenure just marks the end of my constitutional assignment. However, I shall fulfill the constitutional vows till the end of my last breath. I did my best, whatever I can. It is with the cooperation of all my brother and sister judges. Credit goes to everyone. I never miss an opportunity to quote the famous Telugu poet Mahakavi Gurajada. Desamante matti kadoi, desamante manushloi. Gurajada gave a universal definition to the concept of nation. He said, a nation is not merely a territory. A nation is essentially its people. Only when people its progress, the nation progress. Swanta labam konta manukoni poruguvariki todpadavai. Gurajada went on to urge people to raise above one's own interest and to extend a helping hand to those in need. If we put this principle in practice, we will soon start seeing a better world free of conflicts and violence. It is towards establishing such a progressive world that we collectively need to endeavor as a global citizens, enlightened citizens, and as the most important stakeholders of our judicial system. I urge upon you all to think about the society, the nation, that is the people. It is the universal brotherhood that will bridge the gap. Before I conclude, I would like to place on record my sincere thanks to all my colleagues on the bench. I congratulate first my brother, Justice Lalit, Chief Justice of India designatee, who is going to take over tomorrow. I am confident that his tenure will be a grand success. I request all of you to extend fullest support and cooperation to my brother, Justice Lalit. He has already proved his leadership while he is the chairperson of NALSA. I had no doubt that his focus and priority will definitely take care of the institution. I had the privilege of being guided by the learned Attorney General Sri K.K. Venugopal, the Bhishma Pitamaha of the Indian legal fraternity. I also thank the Solicitor General of Sri Tushar Mehta for his active assistance to the court. On a personal level, he is a good human being. He comes forward readily to help anyone in need. I want to correct here, Mr. Tushar Mehta, just like the IB reports, this your report that I am going to write a romantic novel is not correct. I may write some books on literature. I may write some books about the historical events which has taken place while I was as an advocate and all that. Mr. Vikas Singh, I need not tell, is a strong leader, the president of the SCBA, a dynamic man. He is a very persuasive. But only one caveat I want to advise Vikas is, Vikas ji, with little soberness, he can achieve many more. I would like to sincerely thank the Secretary Generals, the registrars of the entire register of the Supreme Court. My personal residential staff has worked with me for a long time. I thank them all for their constant dedication and hard work. The media has been extremely cooperative in disseminating the information about the judiciary. You share the equal burden of dispelling myths and notions. I thank you for being an active partner in this collaborative project of strengthening the judiciary. I thank each one of the journalists who have been covering the proceedings of the Supreme Court diligently, efficiently, and instantly. My journey so far has been made possible due to innumerable sacrifices made by my revered parents, Ganapati Rao and Sarojini Devi. And my two elder sisters, Prabhanjani and Vani. My wife, Sivamala, stood me like a rock through thick and thin. She has been my equal partner in all my struggles and successes. I am blessed with two loving daughters, Dr. Sri Bhuvana and Sri Tanuja, who continue to cheer my life. Now, my family also includes Ritesh and Trilok, my son-in-laws, and with three grandchildren, Sriya and Sri Nitya and Sri Virat. I do not have to worry about my post-retirement phase. They will take care of me. With these words, I must thank all of you, my friends, my childhood friends, and my relatives. Some judges, lawyers came across all the way from remote places from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and all that. I thank each and every one of them. Before concluding, I want to say, because you must have seen, I am correcting my draft on the table also. Because after going back today morning court, I started dictating this note. So I could not properly place some of the things. It's my favorite quote, but I want to tell you. This is a English politician said it. I quote, "History is not the burden of one man or woman alone, but some are called upon to meet a special share of its challenges. History is more than the path left by the past. It influences the present and can shape the future," unquote. Only history can judge as to the influence of the path left by me on the present and the future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I have no words to say when I see the standing ovation and the love which sir is receiving. You spoke from the heart, sir. Your life is an inspiration from how humble background you can reach the highest office in judiciary in this country. A life of a Supreme Court judge is not easy. You have to read so many briefs, have to give judgments, and a life of a Chief Justice of India is all the more tougher. You have to do the administrative work also. We wish you, sir, a very happy, healthy, retired life, sir, and it's time to give to your family and for your passion to write a book, sir. Now, I'll read the message given by Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India, for the members of the bar. This institution is the last bastion of justice, and bar is its armada. I urge all of you to protect it jealously. When this institution was threatened externally, history had witnessed bar rising to the occasion on numerous occasions. It is only when you insulate this institution can this institution grow. I request all of you to be critical, not cynical, be courteous, not confrontational, be cognizant, not callous, be creative, not cribbed. Nurture young talent, set examples, hone necessary skills, adopt new technologies, encourage women lawyers, and support legal aid. Work as one toward achieving justice and making it accessible also. Your work is not like any other vocation, it's calling for public service. India needs you as soldiers of democracy, as fighters for liberty and keepers of rule of law. Thank you, sir, for the kind words for the bar. May I now request Mr. Vikas Singh, President SCBA, and Mr. Pradeep Rai, Vice President SCBA, to kindly present a memento on behalf of SCBA to Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India. May I now request Mr. Rohit Pandey, Joint Secretary SCBA, to kindly give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rahul ji. First of all, रमना सर, आपको सादर प्रणाम। हम लोग आपको भूल नहीं पाएंगे। सर, आप हमारे दिल में बसे हैं। We are fortunate that we had one of the most efficient Chief Justice of India, and by your grace, the bar was benefited in your tenure. We congratulate Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana for successfully serving his official tenure as the Chief Justice of India, and we also wish him luck for the upcoming tenure of working towards the greater good of the society, which would sure be successful. We have such surety of success only. As Ramana sir has been principal person not only on the chair, but even off the chair. He has attended the grievance of the bar effectively and has always acted as a strong link between bar and bench. Sir, your decisions in the interest of bar will never be forgotten. We are grateful to Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, the Chief Justice of India, for accepting our invitation. We are grateful to family members of Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, the Chief Justice of India, for accepting our invitation for gracing the occasion. We are also extremely grateful to Honorable Mr. Justice U. Lalit, Honorable the Chief Justice of India designate, for accepting our invitation to preside over this function. We express our gratitude towards the Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India, Honorable Retired Judges of Supreme Court of India, and Honorable Judges of High Courts for gracing the occasion. We wish to thank Mr. Tushar Mehta, learned Solicitor General of India, learned law officers, senior advocates, senior members of the bar for their gracious presence, Mr. Manoj Mishra, President Skora, Mr. Snehasis Mukherjee, Vice President Skora, Mr. Devra, Secretary Skora, Mr. Virender Kumar Vansal, learned Secretary General, Mr. Rajesh Goyal, and other registrars of the Supreme Court press, electronic media persons, and other distinguished guests, honorable members of the bar, for gracing the occasion. Kindly join us for high tea at ground floor.
May I request the executive committee members of SCBA to kindly come a group photograph on the stage?